Hello and welcome to another edition of Left-Handed with a Lot to Say. That's with two T's, not one. And I'm your host, James Lott Jr., and left-handed person, even though I hurt my left thumb today at work. That's kind of a crazy thing. Why my left hand? I need this one the most. But we're here, we're back. And I bring up somebody, a friend of mine, who we did another show together about his music. And he has a new song out, which I love. And I love the title, Miss Me When You're Sober. I just love that title. The song is really good. You can get it everywhere. So go to Spotify, follow him, Jake Parr Country. Singer, songwriter, guitarist, and left-handed person. That's
Yes,
what we bring
sir.
on here. Lefties. Hi, Jake.
Hello. How are you?
Fine, fine. I'm hanging in. It's getting a little cold in LA, so I'm kind of like not liking that part.
You
But
know, it's weird. I don't know if you today was warm. It
it
was
was.
74 at my office today. It
Yeah.
it was warm with this weird wind, but then it's freezing at night and freezing in the morning. It's
Yes.
typical California in the winter. You never know exactly what you're gonna get.
That's very true. Here's the funny thing about you. It makes me laugh because it's so like because your songs are country. They are country. I like old school country sounding songs. I like that.
Mhm.
Not the country pop stuff we hear on the radio sometimes. That's nothing wrong with that, of course.
No, nothing wrong at all.
But I like the country sounding songs, and you have the look and everything. But you're also a surfer. It's very California. You like the water.
I'm obsessed with the ocean. You can find me in the ocean 4 days out of the week, I'm sure. Except right now it's kind of hard with daylight savings time because you get off work and then it's dark out. But I try to get in the ocean as much as I can. I have a boat. I fish
Right?
every week. I catch lobsters. I do whatever I can to be in the ocean.
I love boating. I used to sail boats, and I miss being in the water. I do miss it. I live near the beach. I go to the beach, but I
Yeah.
miss actually being in a boat and yeah, catching fish and doing all that. I miss doing it. I haven't done it in a long time.
Well, I'll have to bring you out on my boat
I
sometime.
have to come out. Yeah, to come out sometime to do that. I'd love to. Now I'm going to ask you, related to left-handedness, does that matter in surfing?
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm kind of ambidextrous. Okay. So I'm left handed, but I'm right footed. Um,
So am I. No, so am I.
yeah.
That's common. That's actually common.
And with surfing, you're either goofy or you're regular. You're either, stand with your left foot forward or your right foot forward. I have friends that are right-handed that are goofy foot, and I'm left-handed, but I'm regular foot. So I guess it's all different. It's all what you're comfortable with and how you were taught, probably. I usually say, what foot do you step upstairs with, and that's what you're going to surf with. Doesn't really matter with your hands.
Oh, okay. I just did it. My left. Well, that's my right. My right. What's funny is we had this discussion with another person on the show. Several people. Does the footedness count? But I'm thinking it doesn't because that's a
It's
whole
I think it's different for everybody. I think there's way more like left-footed and right-footed people. I think honestly, it's more common to be right-footed, but I don't know. I know people that are left-footed and right-handed, so
yeah. Me too.
yeah, it's a weird thing, but everything else I'm left-handed except for like golf and guitar. I play right-handed.
Well, I was going to ask you. So okay. So wait a minute. So with guitar, you play right-handed.
Yeah,
Were you taught that way, and that's why you just got it, or it's natural for you?
I taught myself that way. I guess I just saw a guitar and I thought this is how you play it. For me, with being left-handed, it's a lot easier for me to make chords and like slide up and down the frets easier. Um, I mean, I've never.
Because you have more control in your
Yeah,
left
I'm
hand.
using my dominant hand to get the chords made and everything. Maybe right-handed people struggle with that. I don't know.
I know, but that's what this show's all about. I always learn stuff on the show while doing the show. We're always like, I never thought that before. But so I've never thought that before either. With your because you have your dominant hand, you can move it freer, move the fingers freer to help
Yeah.
with chords. I wonder what right-handed people do. I wonder.
Okay, but here's a question for you.
Okay,
Which hand would you rather throw a punch with?
am I right?
Right? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, am I right?
I feel like for me, I could throw a harder punch with my right hand, but my go-to would be with my left hand. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's funny. I played baseball left-handed.
Yeah, me too.
I played
Okay,
soccer
wait, you swing a bat left-handed?
like a left-handed person. Yes,
Okay, see, I
I,
swing a bat right-handed.
I did left-handed. Soccer, I was right-footed.
Right. See, I think it's different. I don't know. Just curious.
Yeah, I mean I know. It's just so interesting. I was going to ask with the guitar thing because I know there are left-handed guitarists like Paul McCartney. I think is one, and a few others they're left-handed guitarists.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They do it. So,
And there's people that play the strings upside down because they're different hands. It's easier. It's so funny. I have to like be in the screen.
That's so interesting. I didn't, okay, so you play guitar right-handed. You actually, so you golf right-handed too. So if you go, but I'm thinking golf, baseball, it's all about the same. So I guess you would be.
Yeah. I swung a bat right-handed,
Okay.
golf right-handed, but everything else left-handed. I chop food with my left hand. I throw a ball left-handed. I write left-handed. Yeah.
Here's something for you that one of my guests brought up. There's on for him. Your pots. Which side do you lean towards when you're making food on the stove? Left side or right side?
Because I do a lot of you flip the food over itself, and I always use my left hand. I could do my right hand, but mostly left hand.
Yeah, left-handed.
If I was gonna flip, if somebody said you need to flip this omelet perfectly, I'll definitely go left hand.
Yeah. I know. I drink tea and I have a tea kettle. It's in my left corner of my stove.
You know what's funny is we play this drinking game where if you're drinking with your dominant hand and somebody says buffalo, you have to finish whatever's in your hand. So I always drink with my left hand normally, but now that I play this game with my brother and some friends, if somebody calls buffalo on me and I'm drinking on my left hand, I'm in trouble. So now I had to learn how to drink with my right hand. But my go-to with the tea or coffee or anything would be left-handed. So I get myself in trouble in that game a lot.
I like I love those kind of games. But no, I was just thinking, I drink with my left hand. I did this earlier. It's my left hand. I don't.
Oh yeah, go-to. But that's why it's hard. It's hard to play that game. I always have to be on my edge because if somebody's playing the game that I know is in the game, they'll watch me like a hawk.
Yeah, then you start drinking, you get looser and looser. You're like, each hand, sure, whatever. You start,
Exactly.
You're not sitting there not watching so carefully. And there's always that one person who can drink a lot but still have most of their faculties. I don't know who that person is. There's always a person that can do that. Like, not me. I have fun.
Yeah, no, that just goes right out the window.
Yeah, same here. But I was like, the one is always still kind of straight as they're still drinking. I'm like, how are you drinking like the rest of us? I know you're drinking like the rest of us.
Yeah,
how did that happened?
I don't know. I know those people. I don't get it.
Strong constitution or something. I don't know what's going on there. But it's funny. So yes. So I always I do everything right with my left. I have a left-handed mug, which I forgot to bring over here, that my mother gave me. It's because most mugs, if they're one-sided, the logo and stuff's on the inside, looking at you from the left hand. It's because it's made for right-handed people. When you drink with your right hand, the logo's on the outside. So you can see.
I never would have thought of that.
See? Exactly.
You learn something new.
I'm telling you, this show is very interesting. I started this show as like an experiment, and now I've done like 20-some episodes. I'm like, I always learn something new, and the guest you too. But that was another one. It's like, so there's a left-handed mug where the logo is on the opposite side.
Wow. Interesting.
And also they have one where they have a left-handed mug where you can actually cup it in a certain way, and it's more comfortable in your hand.
Huh.
I know.
Oh, how about this? It's like bowling balls. Most bowling balls, if you go to a bowling alley, are drilled for right-handed people.
Yes, they are. I have a left-handed bowling ball.
Yeah, me too. I have specially drilled bowling balls.
Yeah.
Actually, one of my bowling balls is drilled for your right hand, but I use it for my left hand. I don't know. It's because for me, I can get more spin on it. But the house balls, they're all kind of lean for right-handed people.
I know.
Which is kind of lame, but whatever.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't care if there's more of them. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But no, I had for my birthday, because I love bowling. I'm a big bowler. Well, I guess we can do it anytime soon. Well, hopefully we can.
Yeah, that's horrible. I wish that was one of the activities we can do.
I know. I love bowling. I mean, there's like 3 bowling alleys not far from me either. I love those.
Somebody made an outdoor.
What?
Somebody should have made an outdoor one.
Oh, that'd be fun. No, actually, I have a big enough yard. I probably could do one if I had to make a strip and stuff. I could probably do it. I got a long enough backyard, but with some pins and stuff, they're kind of fun. No, but I found that out growing up that they were made for right-handed people because I felt like I was just not working. And then a friend of mine had a left-handed bowling ball when I was a teenager. And I was like, why does this feel better? Like, why suddenly do I feel like I can do much better? And my handicap was better. And then for my birthday 10 years ago, my stepdad got me shoes and a bowling ball made just for me. Awesome. And because I wear a size 14 shoe, so that's always crazy trying to find shoes at the place. It's just so crazy. But the bowling ball is drilled for left-handed. It is so much easier. And the pounds. I didn't want anything super heavy or super light. I wanted a certain poundage. So
yeah, everyone's different. Bowling can get really technical. It's pretty funny. My dad was on the amateur bowlers tour for a long time. So
really?
He had all the gadgets and gizmos. He had the full wrist brace with it looked like a robot on his hand. come on, if you're gonna be a good bowler, you might as well learn how to bowl without that thing. But I guess it helps. He's got, chalk, and he like hits the
Yes,
chalk,
yes.
throw the towel, wipe the oil off. Like, it's a whole system. I was like, it's just bowling, but no, it's not just bowling. It's
No,
a
it's not.
huge science.
No, there's
I
not.
learned that when I started getting into it a little more.
That's right. Well, it's like pool. Do you play pool?
Yeah.
I'm horrible at it.
Friends that have like $400 pool sticks. I'm like, why?
See, it's serious business.
I know. It comes on like even to the grip on the end. They're like, oh yeah, this one feels better. I'm like, okay.
I'm like, okay, it sounds fine to me. I'm not that good. So do you pull left or right? Is your shooting?
My shooting hand is my left hand. So I
Mine.
put my right hand out.
Yeah, mine too. Okay, mine too.
But you see, there's like so many little activities.
That's why I love it. So I love it.
There's like, okay, like shooting a gun or shooting a bow.
I was going to ask you that next. Okay, so
right-handed. I pull back with my right hand with my bow.
Okay.
I shoot my gun right-handed like this. But most left-handed people shoot like this.
Right.
Isn't that weird? I think I'm ambidextrous is what they say, But
I think it's also. No, go ahead.
I just think it's weird how I think it has a lot to do with the things that you're taught and how you're taught, because you're probably taught by a right-handed person. So you learn to adapt to those things. I'm sure if I was teaching myself a lot of the things, I'd be left-handed in most of them.
That's a good point, because I think, okay, so during pandemic early on, I was like, I want to try some things I haven't done in a while. So I started a puzzle of the Mandalorian, because I'm a big Star Wars geek, clearly. And I was trying to do that, but that was a little harder than I thought. I'm like, 1,000 pieces. This is I'm stupid. Then I said, I'm gonna learn how to crochet. I'm gonna wear myself a sweater. That's what I was gonna do. Jake didn't really last very long. Didn't really last. It was like, I went online to learn from a person, but they were right-handed, and I couldn't get it. And they kept saying, "Well, do the opposite of me." I'm like, "Well, why don't you do the opposite?" So I'm like, "Well, how easy would that be for you?" I found a left-handed person, because you have to hold the needles a certain way, much easier. It was much easier. I don't know about you, I'm a very visual person. I can pick up stuff usually if I see it.
Right.
I usually pick it up really quick. But with the right-handed person, I couldn't get it. I was watching it and I just could not get it. Left-handed person, I totally got it.
Interesting.
I didn't finish though. There's no sweaters in my future, but I just try for a minute. I was like, I'll try something different for a minute. I was like, I'm bored. I made my chain.
There's so many people that picked up like how to make sourdough bread, like all these random activities in quarantine that is like you never would have done regularly.
I made loquat jam. I have a big loquat tree. I made loquat jam from scratch, and I gave out to friends. I'm like, I don't need to do that again. That was fun for once, but this year we tried loquat wine or something. Like, make some wine out of it. I don't know. Do something.
There you go. Yeah, at least you get a double benefit from it.
I'm curious. I've never shot a gun or a rifle. I want to. No one will take me. Think I should have a gun in my hands, I guess. I come from law enforcement family. They're like, James, you shouldn't have a gun in your hands. Like, why not? So I haven't done it. I want to one day. My brother has. He loved it. He was in Alabama and he loved it. He's like, yeah, that rifle is something about it. So one day I hope to see which hand I would use and how that would go one day. I was never done it.
Yeah, I guess you'll find out. I'm sure you'll probably learn from somebody that's right-handed, honestly, because that's like the standard way to do things. But
what did you go recently hunting?
Yeah, I went hunting over the weekend.
How was that?
It was fantastic. I mean, for me, getting out in nature, like that's why I have a boat, because getting out in nature and getting outside is it's taken for granted, I guess. And especially during a time like this where we're kind of stuck inside, I love to just get away. So being out there, going hunting, being away from cell service and buildings and people, it's like my own kind of cool little quarantine, But yeah, I love it. And I love the fruits of my labor. I get to go eat a lot of cool things.
What you guys shoot?
It was a goose hunt, so we got a bunch of geese. Yeah,
I've had goose. It's a little greasy, but I like goose.
I have a recipe for it that people swear by, and it's really simple. It's literally Frank's Red Hot. You soak it in Frank's Red Hot.
Red Hot? That's so funny.
And I do it with my fish. All the fish I catch, when I catch rockfish or like certain fish that's good for to fry.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Is I soak it in Frank's Red Hot, dip it in seasoned flour, fry it. It's And people swear it's the best fish tacos they've ever had. Same thing with goose. It's like country fried steak. It's fantastic.
Ooh, that sounds good. I'm sold already. You already said I'm sold. I mean, it sounds good to me. I'm like, that's
Well, we'll get you out shooting guns, and then we'll get you fishing.
hey, fishing. I'll do it all. No, I love nature. I mean, that's why I have a huge garden. I'm always outside. I love it because I have my little oasis in the city. People laugh at me because it's like, you're a plant hoarder. How can you hoard plants? Plants are outside. How can you hoard them? But they're living things that I'm growing. I mean,
Plants all over behind me right there, or behind you.
yeah, I know. I have a jungle in here. I have a jungle over here. No, I like plants everywhere. I got plant. I mean, I love plants. I just do. I'm a plant. I feel like in another life I should have been outdoors. I mean, I had a job where I worked in farm and ag insurance.
Wow.
I did that for 10 years. So I mean, I love being in turkey ranches and poultry farms and cranberry bogs. I did all that stuff. They're like,
that you've done. I feel like you've done it all.
I've had 10 lives. I've packed 10 lives in 52 years. Trust me, I've done it all. I'm one of those people, Jake, that's like, and see, this leads to a question I was going to ask you, that I'm a very creative person and I like to try things. I don't censor myself. I'm just kind of like, try it. Okay, James, you want to do, I did food service, retail, nursing, and did all that. But then later it was like, do you want to learn how to sail a boat? Sure, why not? So yeah. In Santa Barbara, I learned how to sail boats, and I was sailing boats up and down the Delta in Sacramento and around the Bay in San Francisco. We would sail a boat, start from the Embarcadero, go all the way around. There's this restaurant called the Ramp, and you just pull your boat in, have brunch, get a little tipsy, get back on the boat, and then ride back. I mean, it was like, I love that kind of, I love adventure. I love kind of like, just new experiences, and I try stuff just because why not? Like you're on this earth maybe once.
Oh yeah.
People say twice, I say once. So that's why I do music. That's why I do books. That's why I do TV stuff. I try everything. I think it's kind of, and people tell me all the time, I wonder if you believe this or not, that left-handed people are more creative. So we know there are a lot of right-handed creative people, but do you believe that left-handed people have a propensity for being creative? I mean, do you?
I would say so. I definitely have heard that a lot. And I mean, if I were to look at my life as far as being creative goes, I mean, like I'm really creative and I'm more adventurous than anything is like, what can I do to have the most fun all the time? Even though I have to keep my life structured, like I have a job and I have music and I have, certain things and obligations, but how do I, out of that, make it the most fun I can? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think, and I know a couple other left-handed people that I could say the same thing about. But yeah, I feel like maybe we do have a slight edge because since it's more of an oddity, maybe that's one of the qualities that you get when you are left-handed. Hopefully,
I agree with you. I think that we think with a different kind of side of our brain. That's why they always say that's why the right side, it kind of leads that. But I think also because the world is made for right-handed people naturally, it just is. That's how it is. We kind of have to walk the world a certain way. Like we have to kind of just adapt to things. We can't change it. We're the minority of the group, so we can't change it, right?
Yeah, I wonder. Do you know any about the statistics of like how many left-handed people are? Because there's just not there's no left-handed people.
It's so, I hear things here and there, and it's like, oh, how true is it? It's first they said it was 10%. I was going around here, 10%. Then I heard no, 20% of people are left-handed, and then I saw families where a lot of them were left-handed. In my family, I don't know about yours. In my family, it's just me and my brother and one of my grandchildren. That's it. On both sides of the immediate family, cousins and all, no one else is left-handed.
I'm the only left-handed person in my family.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, so where did that come from? Like, why are we left-handed? Like, I don't understand. That's why I said I need some more statistics that say like it's 70% of these, or I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm sure it has like, I mean, I was the firstborn. Maybe that has something to do with it, or I couldn't tell you.
I know. Is that crazy?
Yeah, and I really wanted my little brother to be left-handed. I used to like make him throw things with his left hand, but no, he turned out to be right-handed.
No. Well, see, what's funny for me, my little brother, who's 3 years younger than me, he's left-handed. We live together in his house. I taught him how to tie a shoe. So when I was a kid, I couldn't tie my shoe because people were trying to show me, it just didn't work. I had to teach myself.
Me too. Right? That's so funny.
See, I had to teach myself. When my brother came on, they're like, show your brother. So he just copied me because I was left-handed. And
so
it worked out.
The opposite.
Yeah. And so people would sit in front of me and try to say, follow this. Like to me, I'm like, my brain couldn't compute that. So I just taught myself. I said, screw it, I'll do it myself.
Yeah. I guess I'm the same way because I teach a lot of people how to fish. And I tie a lot of knots, like interesting knots for hooks and stuff. And they're always like, okay, how do I do that? And I'm like, okay, follow me. And I'd make like a loop or something with my left hand. And they're like, that is so difficult because they're not.
I can follow you because I'm left-handed. So you could totally teach. I can totally follow you.
Yeah, I'm sure I can teach you how to tie all the fishing knots easily.
See, I think so. I can, because again, I'm visual. So if you show me with your left hand, I can usually look at it and go, okay, I can mimic that almost.
Right.
That kind of thing. I learned piano by a left-handed teacher.
Oh.
It was very interesting.
That's interesting. Mm-hmm. Piano, though, you're still using both your hands.
Both hands. But it was like there was something about her that she sometimes would lead with her left in some of the songs we did. Miss Pappy, I know she's probably dead now. She was old then. But she showed me, and it was like, oh, I remember telling me she's left-handed. That's why my parents said, we'll send you to her. Don't make any difference or not. But I did learn piano. I mean, I did learn it. I mean, I don't.
You know what would be interesting? If they ever made a backwards piano for left-handed people.
Yes.
Because I know that would be much easier for me to play, like, how do you describe it? Like Johnny Be Good on piano. You're playing like a scale with your left hand, but then you're playing like the high notes really fast with your right hand. It'd be so much easier if that was reversed for me. Wow, maybe I'm gonna make, you know what? You just inspired me. Let's make a backwards piano business.
And sell it. Everybody will just come left-handed from far and wide will just come and
get it. Can you imagine? Because they have left-handed guitars. Why wouldn't they have a left-handed piano? Why are we subject to playing the right-handed piano no matter what? Whoa. Things are happening on this podcast.
Okay, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so funny. What did you know?
I'm writing this down.
I'm like writing it down like backward piano. Wait, okay. So when did you realize that you were left-handed? Do you remember around what your childhood age? Do you knew you were like a little different?
It's not that I remember. I know I played Little League when I was 4. So I knew I was left-handed then. Okay. I'm sure I was throwing a baseball at 2.
Yeah, right.
I play the drums right-handed, and I learned the drums at 2 years old. So that it's kind of bizarre that I throw left-handed because like everyone in my family throws right-handed. And my dad taught me how to play baseball, taught me how to play golf. That's why I learned golf right-handed. And that was all at 2 years old. So I was just the odd guy. I don't know. It had to be around 2. It had to be about 2 because that's when I started like learning how to throw and all that stuff.
Yeah. I know for me, especially, it was going to places to eat. I had to sit on the outside.
Oh, yeah.
The elbow thing. The elbows. Like, oh my God, the elbows. Oh, James is left-handed. So now as an adult, I see it almost like I'll be over on this side. And then like you go, I have to wait. You go inside, I'll be on the out. Like I know it now, it's ingrained in my brain since I was a kid.
That's so funny.
The elbows. And then you're another left-handed person, like we sit next to each other, it doesn't matter how we sit.
Yeah.
Our elbows won't hit each other. But it's one of those weird things. But I'm like, but you still cut with your sometimes you still cut with your right hand sometimes. I don't know. It's crazy.
It's so funny. Being left-handed is fun.
I think I was telling people before on this podcast, I went to help somebody move. I'm a professional organizer, I'm one of my other jobs. And I was moving somebody. I know.
Like I said, what don't you do?
I got 10 jobs, Jake. I got 10 jobs. And I remember moving somebody into a kitchen. I kept thinking, this kitchen looks really interesting. And it just seems so natural. It was a house full of left-handed people. They made a left-handed kitchen.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
So what that means, Jay, because you cook like we cook, everything is set up for a left-handed person. All the utensils were on the wall over here. The oven was here. It was like the sink was over here. Everything was set up. All the knobs on the cabinets were for left-handed people. Like everything was set up in a way that was like the refrigerator open left-handed. Like it was the craziest thing. But it felt so natural. It took me a second. The door, everything was left-handed.
Wow.
And made it easier because I was like, oh, so this thing was over, the chopping block was over here. So I could chop here, slide into the pan here, sink, like everything just kind of moved left to right. If I needed a stirring spoon, oh, it's right there. Stir with my left hand. It made so much sense. I was like, who did this? And they're like, oh, we're all left-handed. So we decided to do something to make it left-handed. I was like, oh, it was a trip.
Wow. I never even thought about that.
No. So
I'm
now,
totally setting my house up like that.
well, see, now my refrigerator is open for left-handed. My brother and I are both left-handed. We got a left-handed refrigerator. We got a refrigerator that opens left-handed.
I have a left-handed. Wait, I totally have a left-handed refrigerator. I do have a left-handed refrigerator. You know why? Because my kitchen is set up backwards.
Huh. Oh, really?
Maybe I had a left-handed interior designer.
See, isn't that funny? So my refrigerator, it opens, and my brother and I were like, oh, this is so easy. And we have it open left. And so then when I had my kitchen redone years later after that, all my cabinets open left-handed.
Wow, that's amazing.
Did on purpose. I was like, I got it. Now, like, my kitchen isn't set up left-handed, but there's just things I can do that are like left-handed. It's like, okay, got it. Yeah. Oh, somebody going home, I guess.
Yeah.
He's at work, folks. This is Zoom. He's at work. Somebody close the door and turn the lights off.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. No, imagine the lights just turn off.
Exactly. We're like, okay, and that's the end of the interview. I guess that's it. And Jake is done. He has to get out of here. But no, so yeah, I learned how. So when I had my kitchen redone, I said, okay, can you make the cabinets go this way? I said, okay. So I have that done, but my kitchen isn't left-handed itself. So I kind of
give me. Yeah, he said I'm actually getting kicked out of the office.
Okay, well, folks. Well, but this is good. So this is good. This is short. So Jake, tell me where we can find your music.
Oh, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, the whole shebang. Jake Parr, JakeParr, 2 R's like 2 T's. And Jake Parr Country on Instagram, and Jake Parr on Facebook. Yeah, everything. Twitter, yep. I got it all.
And I'll put it in the description. And folks, I usually share your stuff when it comes. I always share stuff in my stories. So yeah, so because it's good. It's good stuff. You know, my friend, it's good stuff. So yeah, follow him. Follow me at James Lott Jr. everywhere where James Lott Jr.'s are at James Lott Jr. This podcast is everywhere. All the streaming services on my YouTube channel, JLJ Media, which I've over 35 shows from Star Wars to soaps and everything in between. Everybody, please stay safe. Please stay sane. And any left-handed people out there who will be on the show, contact me. We'll talk left-handedness. See you next time.
See ya.